How's it going, my fellow shiny Pokemon? Shiny Snorlax here, bringing you guys a Pokemon Showdown battle. But first, of course, we go to the team preview. So my choice banded Electros with the moves Thunder Punch, Drain Punch, Aqua Tail, and U-Turn. Pretty decent movesets. Up next, we have Kangaskhan with Life Orbs, Scrappy, Fake Out, Suck Punch, Quick in return. The reason why I don't know why I just prefer Life Orb over Cell Scarf. Don't judge me. Up next we have Gabite, the tank of the team, with Eviolite, Rough Skin, Dragon Claw, Earthquake, Stealth Rock, and Toxic. It's a very good Pokemon, especially if I want to poison something. Up next is Jinx, with Choice Scarf Jinx, with Dry Skin, Ice Beam, Focus Blast, Psychic, and Energy Ball. The reason why I got rid of Trick on it is that I'm not very good with it, so it's basically pointless. Up next we have Octillery with the Choice Specs, with Sniper ability, Water Spout, Surf, Energy Ball, and Fire Blast. And the reason why I don't give it Mystic Water is that it only boosts Water Spout and Surf, when Choice Specs boosts all of the moves. So yeah. Musharuna, my special defensive wall, it's amazing, I love it. And it has the leftovers, Forewarn, Heal Bell, Moonlight, Psychic, and Thunder Wave. So yeah, that's my team. So let's get to the battle. How's it going, my fellow shiny Pokemon? Shiny Snorlax here, bringing you guys the NU battle. So yeah, let's get started. Opponent leads off with the Flareon, and I lead off with my Kangaskhan. And opponent says nice out, and I say thanks. And I go for a fake out on the Flareon to get some nice flinch damage. As you can see, and I'm still new 56-14. Toxic Orb activates, and I go for a Sucker Punch, predicting an attack. But the opponent goes for a Baton Pass and switches out into Sandshrew. I go for a 10, and the opponent's Sandshrew goes for a knockoff, removing my Life Orb. Doesn't affect me that much, but still causing a problem. I go for a 10, doesn't do that much, and the opponent goes for an Earthquake. Opponent switches out into Probopass. I predicted the switch and went for an Earthquake. And opponent says nice. Opponent says ouch, predicted, and I take the Probopass out with an Earthquake. I go for a 10 and get a critical hit. And opponent Executor ate a Citrus Berry, and I go for another 10 to take out that sub. Opponent goes for a Sleep Powder and misses. And opponent harvested one Citrus Berry and ate the Citrus Berry. Opponent switches out into, and opponent says enough crits. Opponent switches out into Sandshrew, I go for a 10. And opponent goes for a Protect. And I go for it, and I keep going for a 10. I go for another 10 and take out the Sandshrew. And the opponent brings out Regice, and I go for another 10, and it does about half. Opponent goes for an Ice Beam, almost kills me, but leaves me down to 2%. I go for another 10, get a critical hit, take out the Regice. Amazing. Opponent's getting pretty pissed off in the chat, and Samurott, and brings out Samurott and goes for an Aqua Jet on my Kangaskhan and takes it down. Opponent brings out, I bring out my Electros, and opponent switches out into Flareon, and I go for a Thunder Punch and take out the Flareon. Opponent switches out into Executor, and opponent sets up a Substitute, and I go for a Thunder Punch. Opponent harvested Citrus Berry and ate its Citrus Berry, and opponent goes for a Sleep Powder. And my Electros is asleep, and I switch out into my Musharuna. Opponent goes for a Substitute, and I go for a heal. The opponent goes for a Nature Power and lands an Earthquake, and I go for a Heal Bell and wake up my Electros. Opponent harvested a Citrus Berry and ate its Citrus Berry. I switch out into my Electros, predicting the Nature Power, and I was right. And opponent harvested one Citrus Berry and ate it. Opponent goes for a Sleep Powder and puts my Electros to sleep. Opponent eats a Citrus Berry. Harvested a Citrus Berry, and I switch out to my Musharuna. And opponent goes for a Wood Hammer, get some recoil on. Opponent ate a citrus berry and harvested and then harvested it. Opponent goes for another wood hammer and takes out my Mushruna. And my Mushruna goes down. I bring out my Gabite and I go for a Giant Claw. Opponent goes for a wood hammer and gets a lot of recoil on it, but he practically heals it all up with the citrus berry, and then the opponent harvested it again. I go for another Dragon Claw, and the opponent ate its citrus berry, basically healing up the damage. And the opponent takes massive recoil damage, and the opponent harvested and ate its citrus berry. I go for a Toxic on the Executor, and the opponent goes for a Wood Hammer and gets a critical hit. The critical hit totally mattered. My Gabite goes down, and opponent harvested its citrus berry, and I switch out and I bring out my Jinx. Opponent ate its citrus berry, and opponent switches out and brings out Samrock. I go for an Ice Beam, and it does a decent amount. And I keep going for Ice Beam, and the opponent goes for an Air Slash, not doing that much. I go for an Ice Beam. It's almost dead, and opponent goes for another Air Slash. I go for another Ice Beam and take out the Samurats. Opponent brings out its Executor, and I go for an Ice Beam and take out the Executor. That was a pretty good fight in my opinion. So yeah, like for instance, gotta become a shiny Pokemon, and I'll see you next time.